Hello everyone, and welcome back to my monthly crafting and talking show, Craftversations, where this month my guest is the wonderful, the hilarious, the wild Tom DeTrinis.
Yay! Oh, thanks for having me. Thank you so much. No, thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh my god, I can already tell I'm just going to cackle through this whole episode.
Well, there's so many people here. So many guests.
Sean, my cat.
The cat, yeah. Yep.
You know and love Tom from his excellent, hilarious, fabulous portrayal of Oscar Wilde on Edgar Allan Poe's murder mystery dinner party.
Thank you.
I am so excited to have him here to craft today.
Yay, thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you for being here.
Disclaimer, I'm very bad at crafts.
Everybody says that, and then they always do a good job.
Well, I can't draw in straight lines. I can't draw circles. They always come out like a little oh, it's going to be a circle. Oh, someone had a stroke.
No, nobody can draw a circle.
I'm so bad at everything. I can't cut straight. So decoupage might be okay.
Yeah, this is just gluing. I think you'll be fine.
Okay, great.
Today we are going to make some beautiful autumn jar leaf craft things.
Who doesn't love an autumnal gift?
Exactly. So if you want to craft along with us, here's what you'll need. You'll need some mason jars. You will need some Mod Podge. You will need some little candles. And you will need some leaves, real or fake. These are real. They came from Griffith Park.
We do have fall here.
I had to hunt these leaves down.
Oh. But we have fall.
This is like all of the leaves that there were in Griffith Park that were pretty.
Oh, well, they're pretty. I mean, these red ones are pretty.
They're
Look
nice.
at this.
Some of them got a little dry, which now I'm a little worried about. But
That's okay. We'll just spit on them.
yeah, perfect. And you'll need just a utensil to do your Mod Podging with, and also some twine to add a little accent at the end. That's all you'll need. It's going to be easy peasy, Tom. I believe in you.
I'm just staring right at you.
Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, what a joy.
What a joy. How are you doing?
Nice break. I'm a little stressed out at the moment.
Oh, no. Are you busy?
I'm just running around like a Looney Tunes. We were talking about driving a minute ago.
It's the worst. I haven't opened
Right
this
now
Mod
it's
Podge
just-
in a while, and it's crusty.
I love Mod Podge.
Do you? Good.
Yeah, it's really fun.
I never used it until
Super
this
fun.
show.
This is how I made, I used Mod Podge to make glitter heels. I have a set of...
What?
Glitter tap shoes. I made glitter tap shoes and glitter, glitter
amazing.
whatchamacallits. What are they called?
Glitter whatchamacallits?
I can open this, right?
Yes, please.
Ballet shoes.
Oh, yes. Slippers.
Yes, for Home Alone,
Oh,
the 30-minute musical that Sean played the old man for.
Yes. Who do you play in Home Alone?
I play the spider.
And it's so good.
It's very funny. I usually play inanimate objects or animals or the weird things.
You're in some stuff right now, right?
Yes, I'm doing
Tell us
Hocus
about it.
Pocus, the musical parody at Rockwell Table and Stage here in Los Angeles and Los Feliz, down the street from where we are at the moment.
It's true. How's that?
It's very fun. I'm playing a cat.
You're playing, what's his name? Binks?
Binks. Thackeray Binks with a TH, not a
Thackeray
Z.
Binks.
Which has always been very strange to me. Because I'm like, why? But why? You know? Like, why did they name this character with a TH?
Yeah, fair. So you're totally doing it. But yeah, just Mod Podge and then stick on your leaves.
Leaves.
I thought originally when I looked at this on the Pinterest board that you did them on the inside, but you don't. You do them on the outside.
Do you Mod Podge over it?
Yeah, I think so. It said to, but now I'm worried that that's going to be weird. But yes, let's try
No,
it.
it'll work.
So
yes, I'm playing a cat.
Are you in anything else? Weren't you in a couple things right now?
I'm helping produce a one-man show that's going to New York City in December.
That's cool.
And it's going to be playing at the Barrow Street Theater, so you can come find me there.
Come find him.
In December. We're doing another 30-minute musical in December as well. We're doing a brand new one.
Oh, you are?
Yes, we are.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, it does involve a recasting of Sean a little bit.
Oh, why?
Because we're doing Die Hard.
Oh.
And Sean graced us on the stage the last time we did a little Die Hard quick, playing whatchamacallit, but Brooke is going to play that part now.
Oh, okay, fair.
And she wants to be able to have it to sing, and Sean isn't really that big of a singer.
How do you feel about singing, Sean?
I love it. I love
No,
to
you
do
don't.
it, and I would do it, and all Brooke had to do was ask me to do
Are
it.
you mad, Sean?
Are you mad, Sean?
Are you mad about Brooke taking your part?
Are you mad, Sean? I knew you'd be upset.
See you guys.
Bye, Sean. Do, 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 do.
Come back.
Do, 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 do. I'm sorry to break that to you on national television.
National television.
I'm sorry, Sean.
Are you guys doing Home Alone this year or no?
I don't think so.
Oh, sad.
Just
I love
because
Home Alone.
I'm worried about being able to do them both at the same time.
Sure.
It'll be a little
Makes
tricky.
sense. Well, Die Hard's fine.
I'll be more available. So.
Yes. Well, oh boy. Oh boy.
Wah,
Cut that out.
wah.
But what else is
Will
happening?
you-
But that's really it. And then there's this.
Yeah, should we
This
talk
joy.
about Poe Party a little bit?
Sure.
Do you know how much of a fan favorite you are?
Well, I'm very glad. Thank you, everyone, for enjoying my weirdness.
It's only because you are so freaking hysterical. My
Oh,
dad
thank
is
you.
a big fan of you. My dad and my
Oh.
brother. They love everything that you say and the whole show.
Oh, I got Mod Podge on my fingers.
Oh, no.
That's very nice of them. That's great.
It's
I
true.
really am loving everyone being active on Twitter. I'm sorry if I'm slow to respond, but Twitter's not
Have
my
you gotten
favorite.
some tweets?
Gotten some lovely tweets of people saying, "Oh, this was a fun part," or what have you, and I'm like, 3 days later, I'm like, "Oh yeah, guys!" I'm really bad on Twitter.
That's okay. It's not all
I wasn't
it's
even like
cracked up
following
to
Mary
be.
Kate for the longest time.
Yeah, I got
she had
so
to tell me.
mad.
She had to be like,
I was
"Tom, you
like-
need to follow me." I'm like, "Oh shit."
So you have known Sean for a long time.
Yes, I was
kinda-
just telling Mary Kate before you arrived, Sean,
Yeah, that's
that
true.
I met you 9 years ago in January.
Wow,
That's crazy.
Yep.
that's a lot of years.
It's a lot of years.
How did you guys originally meet?
We met in acting class, actually. That's
And-
also how we met Blake
Yeah.
as well.
And
That's
look
how we met
what's
Tara.
happened.
That's how... Who else was on set with us that we met in that environment?
Ryan.
That's how we
Ryan
met
Garcia.
Ryan. That's how I met Clayton Snyder. That's how... I mean, it's just crazy.
That's
and Sinead,
awesome.
that's how I met Sinead, too.
Really?
And Sarah. And Sarah Grace.
Right. Isn't that bananas?
We all were in the same kind of zone. And Margie as
That's
well.
So cool.
Oh,
So what?
if you put it on your hand like this, you can turn it easy.
Yeah, I just figured that out too. Sorry, I should have told you.
Oh, no, that's fine. Ooh, look,
did
know
it.
what this leaf looks like?
What?
Land Before Time.
It does. What do they call them? The like tree stars? Oh, tree stars.
Tree Stars, Land Before Time. It looks like that.
There's so many Land Before Time movies.
Too many.
Like 17.
I actually really was not a fan of those movies. They really
I
pissed me
wasn't.
off.
Why?
I don't know. They're just stupid. I have a lot of strong opinions about animated movies.
That's totally fair.
As
They
we
weren't
know,
my
because we're
faves.
big fans of Disney, us
Yes.
all.
Yes, we are.
We have
You
gone many
love
times.
Going to Disneyland, and we love going to Disneyland.
We
and
gotta go. I
we
gotta
do have to
go. I'm ready. I'm like ready for it.
I
I'm
agree.
thinking in the next like few weeks.
Yeah, we love Disney and going to Disneyland. What's your favorite Disney movie?
That is a question.
It's a tough one.
Well, should we talk about live action or
Oh,
animation?
whoa. I was thinking animated. I wasn't
Okay,
even
we're talking
thinking
animated.
live action.
There's like 3 or 4 that I'm just always in love with, and I can watch at any moment. Sleeping Beauty,
Oh, me too.
Snow White,
Interesting.
because I grew up watching Snow White,
Uh-huh.
and I am obsessed with that. I mostly care about villains. So, Sleeping Beauty's villain is the scariest.
She's the best.
Then the next villain for me is Snow White's witch, right?
Interesting,
And
yeah.
then, in a total 180, I love Wally so effing much.
Wally is great. It's wonderful.
Wally, guys.
It's so good. Is that your favorite Pixar?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one.
By far.
I can get behind that.
By far.
Yeah.
What about you?
Disney movie?
Mm-hmm.
Of the like old ones, Sleeping Beauty.
Right?
Of the new ones, Tangled.
I love Tangled.
Freaking love Tangled.
I love
It is
Tangled.
so good.
It's a great movie.
And of Pixar, I know Sean hates this, but Up is my favorite.
Oh, Up is a great movie. Also, I really get severely behind Zootopia and can watch that
sure.
several times.
Sure.
Because
Yeah.
I sat in the movie theater like this the whole time.
Yeah. It's great.
Did they just say that?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
And I'm like, these kids are gonna watch this movie and they'll be like, yay, animals! And adults are gonna watch it and go, I'm a horrible person. I'm a horrible person. And that's why I loved it so much, because it was such a strong message. It was
totally.
very, very strong message.
I agree.
I was like, everyone needs to watch this movie.
What's your favorite thing to do at Disneyland?
Cars Land.
Cars is the best!
I love California Screamin', Sean in the back. And I love eating. Mm-hmm. I love eating in new places.
Remember when we went and it was Food and Wine and
that
we were like,
amazing.
yes!
The Food and Wine Festival finally came from Orlando to us.
Thank goodness.
Thank God it
was
did.
So cool. It was so fun.
You did a great job.
I don't know. I'm a little concerned about how it's going to look, but we'll see.
Well, when it dries.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. So, back to Poe Party.
Oh, back to Poe Party, yeah.
You were a part pretty early on, I believe.
Yes.
They always knew they wanted you to play Oscar.
Yes. Sean and Sinead went from the inception of this, like, so many moons ago. Mm-hmm. We're like, Tom, we really want you to do this thing. And I'm like, okay, sure. Now, the thing about Sean is...
What's the thing about Sean?
That I've learned over the years. The thing about Sean is that sometimes he says things and then they don't always happen. But what I love about Sean is that he will always remember everything that he said, right? Like if we were like, oh, this project, and he's like, yeah, oh yeah, whatever happened to that? And he's always like ready to go, right? So when he was like, this is happening, I'm like, great, sure, I'm like, I'm down for it. And then it got closer, and then it was happening, and then all of a sudden we raised all this money, and I swear, like every minute I saw that ticker rise up, I was like, what? Wait, what? This is really happening? Yeah. And then just to see, I mean, because when we created the first thing with each other in 2008, The Final Variation, which is a film that we did just for our acting studio.
I have seen it.
Yes, and it was what it was, right? We were all very, very young. We had the time of our lives. And at that point, Blake and Sean and I were like, all the time, do everything, always.
Yes, as you are when you're young.
Yes, and so we just have always wanted to do things. And then when we were finally there in May shooting this, I was just like, what? And it felt just as fun as when we were up until 4 a.m. giggling our faces off, just trying to figure whatever out.
Well, we certainly were giggling our faces off on Poe Party.
We had such a good time.
And Lauren Lopez especially. Were
that woman.
Giggle monsters.
That woman. She just had to look at me. She just had to look at me.
She couldn't. She would be like, Tom's looking at me. I can't do it.
Oh my God. We got in trouble, I think, a few times. I'm pretty sure we got in trouble a few times.
But no time was as giggly as the slap with Blake.
Oh my God. Well, because you put Blake and I in a room, again, when we were doing the thing with Sean many moons ago, we that was the scene that it was like close to 4 a.m. or something like that, and it was just constant giggles. Like, we could not get through the scene. And even when we watch it now, it's not funny. Like, it's not funny to anyone but Joe Williamson, Sean Persaud, and Blake Silver. And Tom DeTrinis. Those are the only people that scene is funny to. That's it.
And also, we were in a location that we weren't supposed to be in.
Yeah, we were in my old office that I used to work in, and we were there, like, after we closed, and they didn't know that I was, like, doing this, and I didn't give two craps, because I don't give a shit about those.
Oh my God.
I have a lot of choice words about people.
You do. You
Always.
do. I like that about you, though.
And so we were there and just, like, losing our minds. And it was just constant laughter.
That's
it was
so fun.
That's when I realized, like, oh, because I was not having the best time in Los Angeles until that moment. No, I was hating my life.
Oh, that's really sweet. I'm glad that made you
changed,
not hate your life so much.
Yes, it changed my life in that moment.
That's really wonderful.
Which was really great.
So when they were like, we want you to play Oscar Wilde, were you like, okay.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if Sean was like, we want you to play a tree, I would have said yes. And I would have just come and done it.
To be fair, you would be a great tree. You're the best.
I play great inanimate objects and animals, as thusly discussed.
You really do.
But I would have done whatever he said. Even if it was a small part, I would have come and done it.
Well, certainly... I'm just, like, so happy that we had you in it because, our sweet, wonderful fan base, when we were like, Tom DeTrinis is going to be Oscar Wilde, they don't know who you are.
No, they didn't
but
know.
now they know.
But now they
and
know.
Now they love you. And I also love that they, support us in, bringing people to them who are wonderful.
Yeah, that is really great. That's really wonderful, because a lot of the times in this crazy world that we work in, people don't like taking chances because they're afraid that audiences won't like it, and they're afraid. They're always afraid. Everyone is afraid of their jobs, of making money, of doing whatever. And to have a fan base that's going to be like, who cares? I think that's really just the bee's knees.
I do too. And I'm just happy because you're just so freaking wonderful in it.
Well,
and
thank you.
Delightful and so funny.
Well, you are also wonderful in it as well. Let's talk about how there is one episode. What's the one where we're constantly cutting back and forth between the one with Jim O'Hare and
the
Jimmy?
Constables.
Yeah, with Jim and Jimmy's.
So great.
All the Jims.
All the Jims.
Mary Kate gives me Disney princess the entire time. It's like she's the perfect Disney princess.
No.
I don't know why people haven't already called her up to be like, can you play our next Disney princess? Here's all of the money.
That would be wonderful. I would love to be a Disney princess and have all of the money. But
yes.
Thank you. That episode is by far one of my faves.
Oh my gosh, so
it's
funny.
So good. The noise you make. Oh my God, when they come in and we're fighting and you go, ha!
When I do that random laugh. There's the times that I was watching whenever you
every time.
Whatever you were cutting, and I was like, did I do that?
Oh my God, yes,
I don't
you
even
did.
remember being so weird.
Also, you're freaking, I must have been out of the country.
Oh my God, that we could never get through either.
Amazing.
That we
oh
couldn't
my
get
gosh, it's so funny. It's so funny. It's
very
so funny.
fun. Oh my
so,
God.
are you an Oscar Wilde fan?
TBH.
TBH,
guys.
What? Not so
really?
much?
No, I just didn't know about him a lot.
Really?
I just knew that he was a gay playwright, and everyone was like, oh, he's this, super gay dude. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I didn't really know much about him besides, the importance of being earnest.
Sure,
because, who doesn't know that fucking play?
Right. There are some requests to have a Poe Party cast version of Importance of Being in
Earnest,
I'm which
done.
Could be fun.
Okay,
I really
sure.
enjoy that
We
play.
can even just do a live like this and just reading
right?
of
That would
it.
be fun.
Oh, 100%. I love
That would
how
be a
I'm
fun
now
little
just
thing.
using my fingers.
Well,
but
that's-
he, Oscar Wilde, upon researching a little bit about Oscar Wilde, and the way that I came up with this character was all because of my friend Carrie Safran, who is a dialect coach.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to make sure that I'm doing this right. And so I hired her, and she coached me on speaking like an old British upper crust person. Mm-hmm. And everything stemmed off of that work. Figuring out how that person talks. And kind of watching a lot of movies from the 1920s, 30s, 40s where those characters kind of existed. And then just having there's a tiny little clip of allegedly Oscar Wilde, a recording that we spoke about.
Yeah, you sent it to us.
Yes, I did. And so we kind of worked off of all of those pieces, and that's kind of how this voice came about.
It was really interesting to hear your voice kind of evolve because it went through some different stages, and I am so impressed with what you landed on.
Oh, that's right, because, when we first started working on it, January, February, that's when I kind of first started the dialect work, and then it all continued from there, and then by the time it was shooting time, she was helping me. I remember sitting in my car 2 days before we were shooting, and I was having my final session with her, and she was FaceTiming with me and giving me all of these notes on it, and I was like, this is gonna be horrible. I'm horrible at everything.
No.
And she's like, no, Tom, it's fine. But then when I got on set, it just kind of started, and I was like, oh, there it is. Because I was afraid of being able to walk and basically chew gum and talk at the same time.
Totally.
And it turned out that really was not as hard as I thought it was going to be.
I think your accent is phenomenal. And
well, thank you.
It really is. And when we'd be in the edit and you would all of a sudden drop it and talk in your own voice, we'd be like, who's that? Oh my gosh, it's so weird to hear your own voice because it's really quite different.
It is very different. Yeah. I mean, you guys made me look like a different human being.
Yes.
Because of that wig, that lace front wig,
yes,
which we loved shopping for.
You really do look like a different person and sound and act like a different person. It's quite the
Transformation. The wig we found one day, because I know someone asked about a wig.
Someone did, you're right. Our friend Lies. Say hi to Lies.
Hi, Lies. The wig we found in a store here in Los Angeles, it was recommended to me, because we were like, where are we going to find wigs? And then I was like, let's try these places.
Yeah.
Right? You guys had some ideas, too.
Yeah.
And we went there, tried on a bunch, and then when we finally found it, it was actually kind of like it was the best one. We did not settle.
For sure.
It was the best one that we found. And this was like a few days before we were shooting. And right before we shot, I had to go to a wedding in Buffalo.
Oh, yeah.
Remember
I
that?
forgot about that.
So that kind of like threw a wrench in everything.
But it all worked out okay.
Sure did.
It's also it's a lady's wig. And
yes,
we
it's a
cut
female wig.
We cut, it's like very long, but we cut it to be, it's still pretty long. It's like a teensy bit longer than Oscar's real hair was. But
yes.
We wanted to put it in a ponytail because of you and George supposedly looking alike from the back.
Yes.
And I also like your weird Gaston look that you have going on. It's great.
It's very like opposite Gaston, but so funny.
It's wonderful. I really like it.
That's kind of the evolution of the wig, and I think a lot of the times you can find, not to sound like a loser actor, but you can find your character a lot of the times from your costume, from your wig, and from your shoes. Yeah. And that was all kind of like how I figured out how he stood and standed and standed. Is that a word? Who cares? I don't know vocabulary words. And then reading a little bit about his life and how he was a fashion writer before he was a playwright, and he actually did not write a lot of plays. Yeah. He was married to a woman, and there was a man he was involved with, and then he like went to jail, and everyone was like really upset at him because he was gay and everything like that. Yes. It really just was, but he always was very, very obviously witty, and kind of a bitch.
He is sassy. He's a
very
sassy
sassy.
Man.
Very sassy.
Just some of the best quotes in the world that you'll ever hear.
Yeah, really stunning work, and he wasn't even writing plays for very long. Yeah. Which is pretty amazing to me.
Yeah, he's something else. I feel like, to toot your horn a little more, you did more research than a lot of our cast. Not to be mean to the rest of our cast, but you really did dive into it quite a bit.
Well, I don't like knowing things. I don't like being like in the dark.
Sure, totally.
And so I was like, well, I gotta at least find some of this stuff out because I knew that people were going to ask the questions that all of these people asked.
They sure were. I don't know if you saw that we had somebody kind of complain about you not having an Irish accent. They were like,
but, sir,
yeah.
he was not in Ireland long enough for him to have an Irish accent. So they moved to Britain pretty quickly, where it wouldn't have we spoke about that, my dialect coach and I, Carrie and I, we spoke about that very extensively. And because he wanted to be seen as upper crust, which is why I think he would have spoken like a very, 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 very fancy British person. So that's kind of why we chose no Irish dialect whatsoever in the speech.
Yeah.
And also, if we had months to prepare and millions of dollars, I would have had the time to add in that layer at the end where there would have been probably a few phrases that he would have said in a certain way that we would have developed over time, but we have to do, it was a web show.
We don't have that.
You also have to kind of like figure out the limits.
Yes, totally.
And you're like, okay, well, I know I can do this much.
Well, that's the thing. Like, we saw that person say that, and we were like, Tom actually did quite a bit of research on this. I figured that.
I thought about that as well, my kind sir. Because there's no actual official recording of Oscar Wilde, we don't really know.
Sure, totally.
But it's, there's a lot of people who move when they're younger, and it really does depend, their dialect, how it will change and alter, but I think a lot had to do with the fact that he considered himself a very hoi polloi, snotty person, and he would never want to have, because Britain and Ireland at that time did not get along very well. At least I don't think so. Maybe I'm totally wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, person who's there. Let's have a conversation online.
Well, but that person didn't realize, you know what I mean? Like, they knew that Oscar Wilde was Irish, and that's how we originally, too, we were like, oh, Tom will do an Irish accent, but that's not actually correct.
Yeah, he was just kind of born there, and then he spent a lot of his time in Britannia.
Either way, whatever you do is delightful and just wonderful, and we appreciate you going to all that effort and doing all that research and everything.
Yes.
It is grand. You are so good in it.
Well, you were great. Sean is great. Everyone did such a great job, and I think that's why people like it so much, because everyone's like, this is so well done. Everyone really was excited to be there. Zero drama.
There really wasn't.
Not one actor caused a problem.
No.
Not one actor.
But that's also because, we just wanted to work with our friends. Because we love you guys all so much, and you're all so talented. You really are all so talented.
Yeah, and it is amazing to me that more people don't know some of the people that are on that set, and it makes me very upset, but it's also just the nature of
Yes, I agree.
This world that we work in.
I just love how everybody has such a chance to shine, and everybody works together so well, and it's never like you just start to think about your favorite parts and performances, and then you're like, oh, but that person's so great. Oh, but that thing that person does is so great.
Right.
It's really a good.
I think we're all going to really be excited to see everyone tomorrow because we're filming this the day. Can I say?
Yeah.
We're filming this the day before we see all of them together in front of a live audience, and I think it's going to be really nice to just have basically a love fest.
It will be. I'm excited.
Because I'm glad that a lot of the people who were there the whole time are going to be there, and I just can't wait to see many of them. And also just to give them props for doing such a good f***ing job.
I hope that
because they all did such a good job.
Every single person involved.
Even all of the crew members.
Yes. So good at what they did.
Wes was a better first AD than I've worked with on professional TV shows.
I agree.
And it was this kid is, especially considering what he had to do and the amount of days that we had. I like him very much.
He's wonderful.
I'm always who needs a first AD? Because I've got one.
He's so good.
He's so good.
I agree. And
the reason we got so much done is
because of him.
And because he just was he had let us have fun, but also kept us on task. And I was wow.
And scheduled that whole shoot. To a T. Perfectly.
He was stunning. He doesn't get enough credit, I don't think. First ADs do not get enough credit because they actually make the ship run.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys did, of course. You and Sarah and Sinead and Sean and Joe, of course, made the ship run.
The person, that job is such a specific job.
It is a specific kind of human being that can do that. Yes. That is not for everyone. Yeah. I made it all red.
Who did it? I love it.
And then this one's got...
You're really getting in there.
Yeah, I mean, my hands are gross.
Thanks to Cameron MacFarland from Australia for sponsoring this video. He's awesome, and you're awesome for watching.